Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, an amazing day. I wanted to do a little video for you guys on planning for the week ahead and kind of walk you through how I do my menus and talk about meal planning and getting kind of on the right track that way too. So if you haven't done your Sunday goal check-in, please post that in the post from today. Let me tell you guys a little something. So when I started this, when I've started and failed many times in the past, I never really set any specific goals, any goals that I could kind of measure. And it's so important to, when you set a goal, to write it down, to track it, grab a journal or a notebook or something somewhere that you can write it down. That printout that I gave you today, it's awesome to print those out and staple them together and use those, weekly, or if you're a planner kind of person, using a planner. I love pen and paper stuff. So I'm like a journal person where I write down journal stuff. And then I use a planner where I literally, I plan out my month in advance. I set my goals for the month. I write out my schedule. I haven't really filled out my May calendar yet, but I've already got some stuff on there that I plan out. And then I know, guys, I'm kind of nuts. Bear with me. But then I have my weekly to-do list, and I write down all my things for the week that I plan out. So not only do I'm like a determined planner, but when I do my meal planning stuff, it's important for me to have a plan that I can see and follow along with. So I notice when I fly by the seat of my pants, I tend to eat a lot of things that I probably shouldn't be eating, and then I don't see the results as well. So I strongly encourage you, set goals, write them down, put them somewhere where you can visually see them, and keep yourself accountable that way. And that's why I encourage you to share them within the group as well. So that way we can hold you accountable. Myself, your coach, whoever brought you into this group. So very important to track our goals that way. Now let me get a little tough lovey here for a minute. So we all have goals. We all have started this for a very particular reason, whether it was weight loss, building muscle, trimming up your midsection, losing 5 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds or whatever it is. We all have goals, and we all get a little excited when we start to see things shift and change, when we start to notice that, our pants are looser. Numbers on the scale change. Don't always rely on the scale though. We feel like we do measurements and we notice that we're down in inches. We take pictures and we see progress that way. Somebody notices. That's like a really great thing, right? When somebody tells you, have you been losing weight? Have you been working out? They notice a change, and that's pretty amazing. So those are all kind of things that I think we all strive for, is a little bit of change, a little bit of progress, and things like that. Now, sometimes we have to shift things a little bit. Sometimes, we're eating a certain way and we're not seeing results, or we've been doing the same workout and we're not seeing results. And we need to kind of take a look, take a step back, and figure out what it is exactly that needs to be tweaked so we can continue to get progress. We can continue to move forward. So myself personally, and whoever your coach is, need to chat about that, whether it's within the group, if it's something that you want to talk about publicly, or if it's something personal that you'd rather message me privately or your coach, and kind of figure out, okay, listen, I think I've hit a little bit of a plateau, or I expected to see a little bit more results than what I've seen so far, and then we have to take an honest look. So I said I'm going to get a little tough lovey. When I started this journey, I thought I could get by with doing similar things. I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was, I thought I was doing the right things. And turns out I was eating pretty good, but I was eating a lot of the wrong things that I thought were the right things. I was eating a lot of just things that weren't quite as healthy as I thought. And eating a ton of dairy and, just things that when you're trying to clean up your diet a little bit, lots of processed things, lots of granola bars, lots of granola, sugary cereals and stuff like that. And this group is kind of a way to help teach you and help you understand the importance of eating cleaner and eating unprocessed and following a nutrition plan and sticking to a regular routine and making those simplified changes that can last long term. So this has been a journey for me personally. I know many of you, that have not just started on day one in this group, but that have, been in our groups for a while, or, this isn't your first rodeo, and that it does take some time and effort. But it does require work on your part too. So I can give you every meal plan. I can give you, the allotted calorie recommendations. I can, sign you up with the all access and you can have all of the workouts and everything like that. But if you're not putting it to work yourself, or if you're cheating yourself, if you're like, oh yeah, no, my nutrition is great, and then, you're not eating great, then, there needs to be some work there. So I am more than willing and more than happy to help you with whatever issues, complications, struggles, any of that stuff that you have. And if you need me to kick you in the pants too, I'm totally capable of doing that. In fact, I will tell you right now, if you're cheating yourself, if you're lying to yourself, if you know that you can be doing better, then do better. Then quit the crap and do better, right? This is me telling myself this on Sunday after a week of everything on vacation, drinks and food and twice a day desserts and everything that you could possibly imagine, and not saying no to a lot of things. And now I am realizing that I kind of need a little bit of a reset. And so this next week, back on track with nutrition. So I wanted to sit down with you guys today and go through the meal plan, and just tell you the importance of staying on track and how that makes such a big difference. It's going to be tough. There's going to be days that, you just don't want to eat chicken anymore or vegetables. Just give me a chip, just give me some cheese, give me queso, please. Right? So those days we have to make up for with our nutrition the rest of the week. So like I said, cut the crap, get your workout in, focus on being better with your nutrition. Focus on being better with your habits. Focus on doing some kind of movement. You know what? If you got up late and you skipped your workout, okay, great. Go for a walk in the evening. Or if you got up and, you half-assed your workout, okay, well then get an ab workout in later in the day, or finish it later, or go for a run, or do something that's going to move your body and challenge yourself. I can absolutely tell you that quote, the only bad workout is the one you didn't do, or, having any kind, you never want to finish. You never want to be at a point in this journey where you have tons of regrets, where you're like, man, I really, I didn't give it my all. Well, fortunately, it's a journey. And, if you've had a rough go, then you can just keep going, and just refocus your efforts. So, never be at a point where you are having regret and remorse, because every day is a new day and a new opportunity and a new chance to push towards those goals and continue to rock it. So real quick, I'm going to dive into this meal plan for you guys. And my computer just locked up. So if you saw the meal plan I posted, then you've printed it, I'm sure, and you're putting it on your fridge and you're going to follow it to a T this week, right? Or maybe you printed it this morning and you went to the grocery store and got all the things that you needed. So I do take the 21-day fix, or, the portion stuff into consideration when I do my meal plans, and I do follow those. I don't, measure out my stuff every single time, but I've been doing this for 2.5 years, so I have a pretty good idea what my portions are supposed to look like, and that's something that you'll continue to learn. But I absolutely recommend using those portion containers, because you need to visualize what the food is supposed to look like on your plate. Believe me, it's a lot. When you just assume. It doesn't always work out the best, as we know, never assume. But when you assume like, oh, I'm sure this is what I was doing before I started this. I'm sure this is the right quantity of foods. And I found out I was eating a ton of the wrong stuff and not enough of the right stuff. So I was eating too heavy on the carbs and not enough vegetables. So when you kind of use those containers and kind of measure out your portions and get a good sense for what your food can look like on a plate or in a bowl or whatever it is, that is really going to help you long term as well, because you're going to develop those habits, those patterns, and you're going to get that mental trigger that's going to show you like, okay, you know, so then when you do go out to eat, you don't have to like bring your containers in your purse and like, you know, measure things out. Like nobody wants to do that. And I don't encourage doing that either. People might look and whisper things. So anyway, so here is the blank little meal plan that I posted last night. And I kind of just sit down and this is what I do. Like I think about things that I eat and I think about things that I like and I just write them out. Now this meal plan this week is very, very simplified, and I did it this way for a reason, because I want you guys to really take it into consideration and follow it. I want you to really do, you know, get in the habit of sticking to a meal plan. And, you know, it takes me time to do these, and I do them anyway for myself. But I want you to appreciate the fact that, you know, this is something that, you know, that's kind of a little bonus that I do for my groups. But this is something that, you know, takes the guesswork out of having to try to figure out what you're doing for the week, or trying to figure out, you know, like you're spending an hour and a half on Pinterest, like looking for recipes. And this kind of takes the guesswork out of that. So I encourage you to follow a meal plan for a week. You can look through one in the past, you know, or last week's meal plan. You know, if you want some more recipes, I can definitely share some more of those with you. I did post a ton of info on meal planning yesterday with some great sample meal plans too. But I need you to print one out, and I need you to put it on your fridge, and I need you to be mindful of that with your grocery shopping, and I need you to stick to it because of this. Because when we tend to slack, when we tend to say like, that's okay, like I'll just eat off plan, then what happens is we have one day out of 7 where we're like, that was, yeah, I probably, like yesterday wasn't so great. I need to do a little bit better, you know, tomorrow. Or then we start to say, well, you know what, I'll be really good next week. And then next week comes along and we've, you know, that one Tuesday that was pretty rough turned into a cheat weekend. And then we get to the following Sunday and we're like, I haven't made any progress this week. And I'm not happy about it. And that's where I tend to see people fall off. Because, you know, we allow too many treats and cheats. I'm all for treat meals, and I'm all for dessert, and I'm all for yummy stuff. I did post a picture of my kid eating a donut today, but I turned it down proudly. And I drank a bunch of water instead. So small victories like that, but knowing that you can continue on, and knowing that you have a plan to adhere to is really, really going to help you out a ton. And then it's going to keep you on track. And I mean, summer is like a month away, and we kind of have to get to it, right? We have to get cracking if we really want the results that we say that we want. We have to do something to work for them. So I take my meal plan. I literally sit down and I write out things that I eat. I know that I like to have Shakeology for breakfast some days. I know that other days I have eggs and oats, and a lot of times I get up and I do my workout and then I have my shake, or, you know, I have my breakfast and then I do my workout and then I have my shake. But I add my Shakeology in there for every single meal. And you know what? I just realized I didn't put it in on Saturday and Sunday. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to add, my schedule got all, yeah. Anyway, so we'll add that in on Saturday and Sunday. And I do drink it every day. But that's a given. Like that is one meal that is a given. Like I don't have to think about it. It's easy. I throw some almond milk in there. I throw some frozen fruit. I throw a handful of spinach. Like it's a no-brainer. It makes things so much easier. So, and I guess I didn't really count my containers all that. Well, it's because I had full-on coffee brain this morning and my brain was going a million miles a minute. So anyway, add that Shakeology in on Saturday and Sunday. That can be your late night snack Saturday and Sunday night. That's where I meant to put it in there. And then an extra handful of spinach in your Shakeology Monday through Friday is a big plus. So anyway, I sit down, I think about things that I like to eat. I think about the simple things. I'd like to do a chicken stir fry once a week. I like to bake and or grill chicken once a week. I roast veggies once a week. I cook sweet potatoes. I cook a bunch of brown rice. These are all things that you can do on Sunday to meal prep. And then easy snacks like a banana, peanut butter. A handful of almonds, an apple, an orange, something that you can take on the go that's super simple. I like to do egg muffin cups. That's another great breakfast you can have and make ahead and have during the week. Greek yogurts, like little individual containers of Greek yogurts. Try to find lower sugar, like less than 12 grams. Did you guys know that the max amount of sugar a woman should have for each day is 25 grams of sugar? And one Greek yogurt, granted, lactose sugars are natural occurring sugars that are in dairy, but one Greek yogurt usually has about 10 to 12 grams if you find a low sugar one. But if you're looking for like a full-on, like a Yoplait yogurt, sometimes has 22 grams of sugar in it. That's absurd. That doesn't allow you any wiggle room or for anything else. And that is where belly fat comes from, by the way, all those extra sugars. So meal plan, sit down, do what you like. If you want to start creating your own meal plans, do what you like. But that's what I do. I print this out, I sit down, I use my meal plan sheet, and I write out my stuff for the week. And then I type it into, usually I just type it into a plan. But if I'm writing it out so I can stick it on my fridge, that's how I do it. I keep track of my containers. I, calculate them out for the week for the allotted calorie range. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later this week, but I factor in that calorie deficit. So when you are working out, you're burning anywhere from 300 to 500 calories, depending on the intensity of your workout. If you're doing heavy weightlifting type workouts, you're burning more calories throughout the day. Those cardio workouts are a pretty intense burst of calories right then and there. So, that being said, in order to lose a pound, you need to be 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. So you need to create a calorie deficit. So if you're normally eating 2,000 calories, or you were in the past, and not working out, you need to subtract 500 from that. So you need to drop down your calorie range. If you're burning calories, that creates a negative calorie. So, if you're at 200 and you burn 500, well, then you're at 2,000, you burn 500, then you're at 1,500. So that will help you lose a pound if you do that every day during the week. You can also create a calorie deficit with your nutrition. So that's why we drop it down a little bit for our calorie range. Now, if you're heavy lifting, you're doing cardio, you're super active, you probably need to bump up your calorie range because at rest, you're going to be burning a lot more calories. But if you're brand new to this, you have a sedentary lifestyle, and you're not, as active as you probably could be, then, you need to bump down your calorie range a little bit. So this week I did the 1,200 to 1,499 calorie range, and I did list the containers on there. So that kind of gives you an idea on what you need to do as far as your nutrition goes. If you're hungry, if you're going through this meal plan and you're like, Ashley, this is not enough food for me. I just can't, I need more. Okay. Protein first, veggies next, or add in, some extra protein and veggies, like I just said. If you have an extra piece of fruit, that's okay. But I usually say protein and veggies first, because that's going to help sustain us, especially if you pair them together. So, if you have an extra, a couple pieces of turkey, lunch meat, roll those up and have a handful of carrots. Add in little things like that, and that will definitely help sustain you throughout the day. Your Shakeology is going to help you with that immensely. That's why I like to put it in on the mornings for during the week, because it does help. It does help sustain your nutrition throughout the day, and it helps keep your cravings away long term as well. So I'm out of breath. But I kind of just wanted to give you guys a little breakdown on how I do the meal planning. Aim to eat every 2 to 4 hours because that keeps your metabolism up. I know some people are like, whoa, I can't eat that much. Believe it, when you're eating a little bit smaller portions than what you're used to, instead of eating a very large breakfast, lunch, and dinner, when you're eating smaller main meals and then having that added snack in between, it's going to keep your metabolism up. It's going to kind of jumpstart your body whenever you're feeding it every 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours, and it's going to keep your metabolism working. So it prevents us from getting sluggish, from sinking into that like insulin, high sugar, like kind of just slump. And it absolutely helps you long term with keeping your cravings away and keeping your metabolism rocking and rolling. So that way, when you're adding in those workouts, I'm running out of steam here. Then you're continuing to see those results, and that just makes such a big difference when you can restart, jumpstart, and like kickstart your metabolism. Long-term amazing goals happen. So I'm getting thirsty. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you're planned and prepped and ready to kick some serious butt this week. Do your goal check-in for our post today. If you haven't done that yet, please do. And any questions you guys have about any of this, post them in the comments below, post them in the group, and let's just really support and encourage each other this week. That's what these groups are all about. This is where we have the most success. When you personally are being a positive influence on other people, when you are encouraging and supporting other people, and it just makes you feel good. I mean, when somebody's cheering you on, doesn't it feel really good? So do that for everybody else in the group too. Be a great support system. Be in that unshakable mindset where you're ready to rock, and you're ready to help everybody else, and you're ready to just encourage and cheer on and share your own victories too. That's such a good feeling when you hit a new landmark on the scale, or when you have a new non-scale victory, or you've stuck to your meal plan the whole week, or somebody complimented you on knowing that you've been making some changes. Share that in the group. We'd love to hear that stuff. So happy Sunday. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, and let's have a kick-ass week. Bye.